Hey, what's up? It's your boy Greg Gray. This is Dope Living TV Live. Now, understand this: the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Man, look, long time ago, when I was young, not too long ago, we used to come together as a family. We all sat down and ate dinner at the table, breakfast at the table. Lunch was the only time we kind of spread out, but we all came to the table and we talked about things that went on that day at dinner. We talked about how school was. If it's a Saturday when we go to dinner, brothers and I would talk about, basketball, or father would want to talk about working on a car, or what's going to happen the next day. What we plan on doing for the next day. The black family, man, was tremendous. On the block that I was brought up on, between a couple of the avenues, there were over 100 kids from one end to the other end. And we all used to come together on the weekdays, summer vacations, and everybody would come together and we played different sports, different games, different things with each other. The black family was alive and kicking. And if you messed up anywhere on those blocks, those parents, the neighborhood parents, were allowed to not punish you, but chastise you. They were allowed to get in your face and say, hey, man, you was doing wrong, all right? This is not what you're supposed to be doing. I'm sorry. That's the black family, okay? Today we want to talk about the breakdown of the black family. What happened? Where are they? Where is the black family? Can it ever get back to the way it was? We also want to touch on being a single mom. Is it the norm now to be a single mom? Where are the black fathers at? What happened to the institution of being a family? We want to hit that up, okay? So what happens to or what are some of the effects of being in a single parent, I should say? Well, if you're a single mom raising a boy, then he, being the man, he might go to the street to look for that man that's going to be a father figure to him, because the black family structure is broken. So he might be looking for that man, So he goes to the streets and gets involved in some nefarious attitudes, some things that are not too cool, crime. Boys who grew up without a father are twice as likely to end up in jail than those who come from a two-parent family. And as I'm looking at some of these statistics, 85% of all children that exhibit behavioral disorders come from fatherless homes. The education aspect, 71% of all high school dropouts come from fatherless homes. Poverty in 2011, and I'm reading some statistics here that I looked up. In 2011, 12% of children in married couple families were living in poverty, compared to 44% of children in mother-only families. Why is that? Because the structure of the family, the father, the mother, and the children, is broken. That cycle is broken. How do we get it back? How do we instill in people that, it takes a family to get by, to get through? It takes a family. We're going to talk about it today. I don't have any fancy videos. I don't have none of that stuff to show you guys today. I just want to be upfront and honest with you about things that have happened with me in my childhood, how I raised my son, and some truths, and I'm quite sure the other people that are coming on will have the same transparency, I'll call it. So that's what we're doing today. We're talking about the families. So now let's talk about the state of the black family. And here's some more statistics. Between 1960 and 2012, the share of black adults ages 25 and older who have never been married, they said that statistic has quadrupled from 9% in the 60s to 36% in the 2000 era. 36% of of age people that have not been married. In 2012, 72.1% of African American children were born out of wedlock. Only 17% of Black 15 to 17-year-olds are living with their married biological parents, while 83% have lived in non intact families, one parent or the other. Um, so, what does that do for our kids? How does that affect our kids? Well, there was a study by the Progressive Policy Institute that says that after controlling for single motherhood, the difference between Black and white crime rates disappeared. A longitudinal study, a longitudinal, let me say it right, study of Black urban youth revealed that when parents were married, adolescents demonstrated significantly higher grades mediated through paternal involvement. I don't want to read this educated stuff. The thing for me is that this children that are from broken homes, they suffer a number of negative outcomes, regardless of the race or ethnicity. Okay, they suffer negatively. We need to try to somehow instill in people that the family, the family unit, the family structure is the way to go, and it gives you more of an opportunity for success in life, as opposed to, you know, single parent homes. Now, I'm not saying that single parent homes do badly. You know, when a mother is forced to do this by herself, I've known mothers that have done this tremendously well, um, and still have kept the fact, and it still didn't badmouth the father. But see, that's the other thing that comes with a broken home. You know, one or the other is going to badmouth the other, and that's not cool. I'm not knocking single parenthood, but you know, I'm talking about the Black family. What happened to the Black families? Where are they? You know, we nobody sits at the table anymore. Nobody does this anymore. I want to get to that. Okay, everybody, say what's up to Marcella.
Hi,
Sab.
good evening. How are you? We're talking about families today.
Yeah, yeah. Not just the Dope Living family. We
Yes, yes.
we talking about families. So I was expressing the fact that, you know, a long time ago we used to sit at the tables for dinner, everybody, and we discuss what happened during that day. Uh, I don't know anyone. I really don't know anyone who sits at the table anymore to discuss anything. You know, everybody eats at the in front of the television, um, separately. You know what happened to the Black family? Can it ever get back to the way it was?
I think it could get back to the way it was. The issue is everyone is so busy now. Um, Teens have jobs, parents have jobs. You have sports, and everyone is just constantly running different ways, different routes. And I think it can get back if the head of the family and the parents start making them do that, coming together. One thing that I know in my family I used to do is have try to have dinner ready at 6 o'clock. Everyone just knew dinner is going to be ready at 6 o'clock. I don't care what you're doing homework, stop. If you're out somewhere, get in the house and then eat. I was always said that I was old fashioned. That's just something that I did growing up. I do understand that we're all busy at times, but if you make an effort and it keeps the family together, parents sometimes, it helps them know what's really going on in your child's life. Sometimes some parents just don't even ask, and
Yeah,
kids feel left out. Like, hey, they really don't care, and that's sometimes when you lose focus of your children's lives, and they get out and they're doing a lot.
I think it has to start when they're young, though, because
Yes.
once it gets to the almost teenage years, because
Hmm.
times are different than it was back when I was younger. You know, the parents were able to talk to us. They were able to reason with us. And if they couldn't reason with us. You know, they brought the pain. We can't do that now because kids got these cell phones and 911 is on speed dial. You know, so what do we do? How do we get that back? Or can it even come back?
I think it can come back. One thing is, if your child does come to you to want to talk to you about something, don't tell them, hey, I'll get back to you. I'm busy right now. Make time for your children. Like you said, it really has to start when they're younger. There is no such thing as, no, I'm not coming. Little Johnny, little Mary running around, and you're calling them in for dinner or lunch or something like that. Also, start cooking. That's another big thing. If you know, you need to start cooking. If you're not cooking and everyone is running out to all the fast food restaurants, by the time you get home, the meal is already consumed.
Yeah, say what's up to Carl Ramsey. What's going on, brother? So yeah, I mean,
Hi, Carl.
and
Mhm.
I get that, but also these days the parents are younger. You got,
Mhm.
and they still have the young mentality. You got 19-year-olds who are raising kids, and they're still kids themselves. So um, they don't, and if they aren't taught by their parents
Mhm.
or given the example of what their parents did to parent them,
Yes.
then they aren't going to give it to theirs. They may want a better way, but once it gets to a certain age, it's too late. And I'm not going to say it's too late. It's a far going conclusion. It's harder for you to get them back.
Yeah, it could be hard. I don't think it's too late. I know with my grandchildren, they used to tell me I was so old fashioned. And I'm like, whatever, but you're going to be sitting here at this table. And it got to the point we also sometimes had specific topics. Hey, let's
Hmm.
talk about such and such. Let's, what's going on in your school? What are some concerns for teens and when they were younger? Just what are some of your concerns? Is there anything going on with you or some of your friends? And
Right.
then in working with children, I would just bring up certain topics that were happening that I knew was going on, and like bullying, um, just whatever, and that was age appropriate for them. It might have even been talking about certain television shows
Hmm.
that I know a lot of teens were watching. There were different things that I just felt were not appropriate for my household, and we would talk about things of that nature and why it's not appropriate. And then sometimes they would come up with some topics that I'll be like, okay, wait a minute, let me take a deep breath, and okay, we can discuss that. But just letting your child and your children know that nothing is off limits for topics, and then that you're open to actually listen to them, because once children come to you and you're brushing them off, they learn quickly. I can't talk to that person, and so and everyone, and also have a basket or a bowl or something to put your cell phones up.
Yeah,
That was a big one.
we got to make sure that they stay interested too. Lenita Charleston, hey, what's going on? She says every day after school, she asked her children how their day was. So that opened the communication. She also told them that there's nothing that you can't tell her.
Yes.
She says, I may not like it, but I'm going to help you through it. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. When they come to us with some things that really, we call it taboo, I guess, but we still got to be open to it, to talk to
Correct.
them so that we can continue to keep them with us as opposed to them asking someone else out there to help them out with it because mom and dad won't do it. And then they're going to start gravitating towards that area. And
Yes.
you'll never get them back. Carl says too much negative stimulus in society, teaching kids from what they observe. Yeah. And we got a lot of we didn't have, and I guess we were in a simpler time. We did not have the video games like this. I mean, what video game we
Yeah.
had? We had Pong, you know, Asteroids. We had the games in Pac-Man. We didn't have any of
Galaga.
those that were influencing us to do anything. I didn't want to be jumping over bricks, smashing stuff. I didn't want to be shooting in I didn't want to do all of that. That
Yeah.
wasn't interesting to me. But now they have all of these games that are so interactive, and they're looking at themselves. They're looking at the people, so they see that these games are doing it. I don't care who says that the games are not the problem. Games
Some
are
of them
part
are.
of the problem. They're
Hmm.
part of the problem.
Yeah.
So again, how do we get them back? I mean, that's a question that I guess we might never ever figure out how to do it. We just, I guess, individually or as a society or as a block, and start off at the block and keep it growing and try to get it, get the
Just, I would say, just being consistent
mhm.
with the meals, even if it's not just during dinner time. Being consistent, like when you're your children are coming and have their neighborhood kids over in the area, being open to talk to them as well, to let them know that you are open to listening to any problems or concerns that they have, so that they know that you don't always know what's going on in the home next to you, across the street, around the block, or anything like that. And it just sometimes it opens up conversations for other things once they see, oh, I can come to this person and
Mm-hmm.
talk about the small things. So let me kind of put my whole toe in there now and see if it's okay to talk about this. And sometimes it's not even around the other children. And it's, it's just leaving the lines of communication open. Like Lanita said, sometimes you might not want to talk about it. I had a family member to call one time, and they were 21, and it was funny because they wanted to talk about they were no longer a virgin. It kind of tickled me because it caught me off guard. I was like, okay, just when you think about your children and nieces and nephews and things like that, and they're coming of age and they're doing things, it's sometimes it's like, okay, I never, you're still looking at them as these are my babies.
Right. Right.
But the main thing is keeping the lines of communication open. If the household has both parents being on one accord as far as discipline is concerned, not letting them see you're going against each other. Whereas, okay, I'll come to mom. Excuse me. If mom says no, that's okay. I'll go to dad. And you need to be, being on one accord, communication between the parents, grandparents, not no, so that the grandparents, the kids don't know that, hey, I'm gonna go to my grandma and granddad's house because mom and dad won't allow me to do this. So I'm gonna go over to their house because they're gonna allow me to do things that my parents won't do. And just the whole family dynamic being on one accord, being neighborly neighbors, not being at each other's neck, constantly competing against each other. And back in the day, it was like the whole community raised the child. If you were around the block and you were cutting up, Miss whoever around the block might get you,
Mm-hmm.
scold you, whoop you, or whatever, and you going home because you might think you're upset. And I'm gonna tell mom, I'm gonna tell dad, or something like that. But by the time you got there, they already knew, and then they were there waiting on you also. And just loving on families, just loving on each other. Period. And like you said earlier, in a
Yeah.
single family,
I spoke on.
mom, mom
I'm
not
sorry.
talk. Pardon me.
I said, go ahead.
Okay. Mom not talking about dad in a negative way, and dad not talking about, and vice versa. That's a biggie. That was something that I used to hate. I raised my son as a single mom, a single parent home, and I would not talk negative about his father.
Mm-hmm.
Anything we had going on, we were at odds. My son didn't know it. When we were face to face with each other, we were like, you thought we were the happiest little threesome there. And behind the scenes, it could have been like little devils. Like, I can't stand to look at you. Oh, don't talk to me, and vice versa. And that's another big thing, letting children know that they're loved, they're protected as well, and by both parents.
And
And
I mentioned earlier about the same thing that you spoke on about the
mhm,
block. And you know, the blog that I came up on, and I'll repeat this again. We had about 100 some odd kids from one avenue to another avenue, and we all got along. But the parents that were there, they were able to chastise us, and like you said, by the time we got home, we got that ass whooped again. All right, everybody say
mhm.
what's up, Tree.
Hey, Tree, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good.
We chilling. Yeah,
I'm good.
Uh,
cool, cool.
wait.
Camera.
Carl says China's doing it with games. Uh, he had to screen. I had to screen the games for my kids before purchasing them. Yeah, I mean, and that's. But sometimes as they get older and older, and we're allowing them to do some of the things that they to grow up to be a part. They're gonna test us, and they're gonna get away with some
Yes.
things that we don't see. So again, my question, and I'm gonna continuously ask this question: the breakdown of the black families. How do we get it back? I don't know. I don't know. Now, the other thing that I wanted to touch on was this: a lot of people think it's okay to be a single mom. Now, I'm not knocking the fact that you're a single mom, but that's not the way it was intended to be. When you lay down with this guy, you meant to be with this guy. All right. But now you're a single mom. All right. And is that becoming a norm now?
Possibly.
You want to stretch that out a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, because you never know what the future may hold or who you may be with, and it's just hard to say. Like you intend to hope it work or make something go right with your child's father, but it just don't end up being like that for most people, and it's unfortunate. Some people are blessed to still be with their child's father. Some people are not. Some people are just now learning how to co-parent, and it's sad. It's sad.
It is so. Marcia?
Just, I concur with what she's saying, and it's sad also that a lot of women, girls, are having babies so young that they're not ready. They're just out there thinking they're trying to be grown and live in a grown adult lifestyle, but they're not. And then they're being, I don't want to say stuck, but then they're having to be single parents. Um, I don't see anything wrong with it. Sometimes it happens. Sometime within the brown community, a lot of our young men watching videos, watching television shows, they start seeing things on those that are negative, but it's quick money.
Yeah.
So they want to get quick money, and a lot of them end up in jail. They end up in prison um, for whatever is going on. Maybe the family don't care for this young man, so they might keep the young man away, thinking that it would be a negative influence on the child. Single parent is real. It's hard, and it's unfortunately is what's happening. And again, to even though you might not be married, still you have to go back to working together as a unit. Both parents, whether both parents are in the household or not, making it work. And even if
And
there is
that
a,
is,
pardon
well, I
me.
was just saying that is the way to bring it back. But the thing is, there's steps to bring it back. It's not just going to happen overnight. It's not just, you can't just say, and I'm not saying you per se, I'm
Mhm.
saying general, people can't just say, all right, well, we're going to make it work now. And it's going to magically happen, because it's not going to happen that way. We have to understand that it's a process. And just because it worked, it's working for one person, the way that the standard way, it may not work that way for everyone. So we have to develop a plan to get our kids back. Develop those that don't have the total control. And I don't want to make it sound like it's a control thing, but if it's a kid, you're under the age of 12, 13, parents are controlling what you do. They're getting you to that next level. Um, but the kids these days are so headstrong. They know everything, because and literally they do know everything, because it's all on social media. It's all on you can Google everything.
Mhm.
But they don't know practical life experiences. They don't choose to understand that we as your elders have been through everything, and we can tell you how to avoid the path that you're going. And I think if they understood or started understanding, that can help the black family, at least
Yes,
with
agree.
some semblance of understanding. I don't know what y'all think.
You got to try to talk to them in their language that they understand.
Hmm.
Yes.
That's even difficult, especially like Naya, she's 16, she's a teenager. I mean, I have challenges, with my child, but you have to adapt to how they will learn best. You know what I mean? Or you
Yes.
try to. You can be the best parent ever. But when your
Right.
kid walks away from you and they're not around you 24/7, all you can do is just hope and pray that they take on every tactics that you taught them, but that doesn't always happen. Even for our good angels, male or female, it
Hmm.
does not always happen. It does not. It,
Also, I can't stress loving them enough, letting them know that they're going to make mistakes. And when they do, loving them back to life versus constantly going at them and going at them and going at them, because then that can teach them that it doesn't matter what you do, whether you're doing what's right, whether you're doing what's wrong, you're going to be chastised. And like Tree said, yeah, adapting to how they're learning. We all learn different in different ways. Making sure that you're there. One big thing is for school. A lot of times, if they're not really learning in school, that plays a big part, because then if they're not really learning in school, and when they go to school and they're being left behind, and they're in class and they don't really understand, and then sometimes you have some teachers that are just kind of out there, and they're being pointed out. Now they're learning to adapt in a manner of joking all the time, trying to play things off, maybe even doing things, negative things also in school. And now you're getting in trouble in school, and when you're coming home and things, you're hanging around with the wrong crowd. And it goes back to parenting. A lot of parents these days need to look back at the old school parents and how we were raised in our generation and the generation before us.
But let me cut you off. Because I mean, and again, that's a great way to do it, but how do we get the parents of today, the young ones, I should say, to understand and look, because we can't, it's not like we can say, okay, we can get on social media and say, hey, we want every single parent who's 20 years old or 25 years old to get on here right now because we got something we want to tell you. Everybody's not going to do it, right? Yeah. And those kids that have that are raising kids, they're not even listening to their mother and father, who are probably 10 years older than, 15 years older than them. So we got a bunch of kids raising kids, and they aren't really listening to us.
They're missing out on something.
They are.
And we can talk to them till we're blue in the face. Sometimes kids don't want to talk to their parents. They'll be more comfortable talking to a stranger or a conversation with their friend, and you find out through looking through their phone or whatever, to see exactly where their hair process is at. And again, it doesn't matter. You can be the best parent in the world. They're still going to go and do what they want to do. And you'll be very surprised at your niece, your nephew, your child, yourself is out doing stuff that you wouldn't never expect that they will do. And parenting, Marcy, even back in the old days with you guys parenting, a lot of those tactics, me as a mother with a 16-year-old, I don't agree with.
She said
in the old days.
She said back when y'all was in them.
She said back in the old days.
I don't agree with it, but as some stuff I do and some stuff I don't. So I kind of like put it together, but
so Marcia,
you gotta make it work for you.
You need to stay involved with your children. Stay involved.
What if being involved with them means being involved with them? What if we think that we're doing so much and they just feel like my mom doesn't love me, and I'm thinking I'm just giving all the love, but what if it's materialistic stuff that I'm giving them? Where's that actual love that they're looking for? And maybe that's the reason why they're out in the streets having a baby, unprotected sex, and they're looking for something that's going to love them back. But it's just a conversation that they can have with their parents. It's not that easy. It's not.
Look, they're looking for love in all the wrong places. One thing, pull them away from the television all day. Stop allowing the TV to be your babysitter. Stop allowing the game systems to be your babysitter. Stop allowing those phones to be the babysitter. Do curfews with the phone from this time to this time, possibly. Put that phone down.
But
it's not going to work, Marcy.
That's what I was going to say. That's not going to work. You're setting yourself up for even worse problems when you start taking these devices away from them. So my thing is, okay, and Marcy, what you're saying is good, but it's not going to work, okay? My thing is, okay, look, I'm going to get my phone, and I'm gonna like with my son, for instance, all right? Him and I, we have a tremendous relationship. Anybody who knows us knows how close my son and I. We can talk about anything. We talk to each other different, but he's grown. Okay, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna let it. I'm not gonna try to make him say yes sir, no sir, this and that. Okay, he's not gonna call me Greg. Okay, but he calls me Dad. But it's a thing where as they grow, and especially teenagers, if you try to take a teenager's phone, their laptop, the TV and stuff like that, do you know what you're gonna be in for?
I
That's why you start when they're younger.
Yeah.
And see, and that's a problem. When they're younger, that's why I said babysitter. A lot of
You're
younger
right.
parents
I never.
don't want to be bothered. And that's why I believe all three of us said you have to start when they're younger. There is no. I've been in the grocery store and I hear a parent, a mom or dad say, "Oh, Sue, such and such and such and such." No. And I kind of like turned into the exorcist. I'm like, like, wait.
It was the white.
And I'm like sitting back.
Marcy make you want to go over there and
Yeah, I look like, okay, now and I'm looking at the parent, like, okay, so what you here to do?
That's the white.
I'm getting turned into everybody's grandma.
You can go to jail nowadays, Marcy. You can go to jail. These kids will go to school and you can scream at them the wrong way or tell them to go in their room and they will take that and run with it, and you'd be in a whole lot of trouble and just for,
Something I just saw on the internet that I thought was, hey, Jeff, that I thought was really cute. And it was kind of cute, but it was funny. There's a little kid. You heard the father screaming, Greg, where are you going? Where are you going? I'm running away.
Whoa.
That's just a name. Greg, whatever. I don't remember the kid's name. Where are you going? And the kid was like the kid is telling the father, I'm running away. And the father said, no, get back in here. And the little kid has a little backpack and he's coming out the side of the house. He's going down the driveway. And the kid is saying, well, you told me you don't love me and you don't want me anymore. I'm leaving. I'm running away from home. And the dad was like, I didn't tell you that. And the kid said something to the effect like, yeah, you told me I had to put up my game. And that's the same thing as telling me you don't love me. And I thought that was the funniest thing. I'm like, really?
Again,
and the kid was running away from home.
He just opened up something totally different. It's a different relationship now.
Yeah.
That's not there no more in their eyes.
Right. You don't love me. You be pushing me away.
That's the message that he got, though. Everybody say what's up to Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
What's up, y'all? How y'all be?
Hey, man, we are talking about the breakdown of the Black family. How do we get it back? And what are the dynamics of a Black family, and why are we in this state that we're in?
That's a good subject, man. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I came from a single parent household. Okay, so my dad wasn't around. I told some of y'all know my story. Tree, I don't think I shared with you my whole story. I don't think so, but I know I shared it with y'all up top. And my dad wasn't around for some reasons, and but it was a single parent household, So I saw my grandparents, their relationship, that type of love and everything. You know what I mean? So in my eyes, when you look at the breakdown of the Black family, and this is also a Mentos moment, by the way. So just to let them know, when you look at the breakdown of the Black family, it's man, how can I put it? Let me say it like this.
Say it.
Certain aspects that are either in the picture or not in the picture, that are not in certain dynamics in other races sometimes, or if they are not, they're not as glorified. You feel me? We'll say that in social media. We'll say that in music. We'll say that in other things. So really, when we look at the breakdown of the Black family, it's things that you have to be able to fix because of the mindset of the people. You know what I mean? When we're shown certain things all the time in our culture and in our media and everything like that, and it's always in a negative connotation. That's why I opened up with me saying I come from a single parent household, because a kid watching this right now can probably look at either me, you, Greg, or the Tree, or any of one of us and automatically assume that we didn't have a full family, because that's the first thing that they get in their head, because that's what they seeing on TV, talking about at school, the whole nine. And it's crazy. And you could go on the other side of town to the other neighborhoods, but it's glorified as a beautiful family. They like the Claire Huxtables, you know, the Huxtables and everything, you know what I mean? But it's the other color, it's the other version of it. So really, man, to sum it all up, dog, we really have it shaped around the culture, the things that we listen to, even down to the food that we make, everything. It all has to do with that culture of family.
Yeah, that's a good analogy of everything, man. I again, man, you know, I'm kind of torn on a couple of things, you know, and I say it not to be disparaging, all right, because we were also talking about is being a single mom the norm, and where are the black fathers, all right, and I'm not being disparaging as far as that goes, but I don't, you know, I think single moms are some of the strongest women in the world, number one, because they have to try to raise a boy, you know, to be a man, which a lot of people say a woman can't raise a boy to be a man. I think a woman can raise a boy to be a more passionate, a more giving, a more heartfelt man. I think she can do that. Can she raise him to be to be, you know, a tough guy? I don't think that's in a lot of women, unless you got, you know, that women with the big flaps. You know what I'm talking
Yes,
about?
it is.
Them big mamas.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a big mama to be that way.
Yeah, I don't know. The little ones, you know, when your kid is the size of my son, okay,
Yeah.
and you trying to be tough, and he's just gonna laugh at you. I remember, you know, when I was, because I, you know, spare the rod, you spoil the child. That's where I was brought up, okay. But I remember when the last time that I gave my son a spanking, all right, it was like looking at Denzel Washington in Glory, all right. He stood there and he looked at me one time and laughed at me like, "You really doing this, huh?" And I bow, and he's like, "Bow." I'm like, "Okay, so this ain't gonna work no more. What do you do? I don't know." Okay, and you know, that's just me. I don't know, because what I did do is I started talking to him and taking stuff away from him. That did not work. I took my son to the seediest part of town. I said, if this what you're gonna do, then this is where you need to be. And you know, he always dressed real nice, had the nice gym shoes and this and that. So I dropped him off. I said, get out of the car. This where you want to be. I'm gonna leave you here. And he's like, nah, Dad, I'm cool. I said, nah, get out. And I drove around the block. Unfortunately, I didn't know my way around. I ran into a dead end. I had to back up, do this and that, this and that. I'd have left my son. I'd have left my son in hell. And I'm looking around, and he walking, he crying, and I finally found him. He's crying, and some gas was getting ready to come up on him for real. And I said, man, you know what? We got to find some way to communicate better than this. I said, because I can't do this. I cannot. I'm crying too now. By the way, I left that.
No, you were.
But I don't know, man. You know, we gotta let the kids understand, or help the kids understand. And fortunately for me, I'm done with that unless I get involved with somebody who has a kid, which I'll gladly accept. But we gotta show them examples. And a lot of people don't learn from examples. You know, a lot of people just think that they know so much of everything. We gotta inculcate in our kids that this is the way we were brought up and it worked for us. This is why you're here. You know,
a lot of times the kids feel that, hey, that's not going to happen to me. It happened to this person, but it never happened to me. I had an experience like that with my son with a belt. And he was just like looking at me like, okay.
See,
Okay.
that's what I was talking about. He believes the system.
And you know, but I also would talk to him and tell him why things were wrong. And he would listen sometime. And as he got older, I had family members or had some friends that had been in the system. for things that they had done, I would ask them. I took them to a cousin one time who had been in prison, and I said, I need you just to talk to him. He hasn't done anything crazy or anything like that, but I just want you to tell him something that you went through. And he mentioned that being in jail, guys bigger than him, urinating in his milk, then making him drink it.
What the hell?
Pardon me?
What the hell? I didn't stutter.
Oh, no, I didn't hear what you said. And saying things like, like, hey, I'm gonna make you my woman. We're gonna punk you out and things like this, and then having to choose, and knowing who you might be able to trust, no one. And then like, okay, I'm smaller, I'm not a bigger, the type of person that really fight or anything. And I started my son, he was like about 5 in martial arts. And my son was like, well, I'm good in martial arts. And I'm like, it doesn't matter when a whole lot of them come at you. And I was very fortunate that I didn't have to deal with any of that. I was able to talk to him and just let him know these are some of the consequences. Some of his friends, I was able to, talk to them as well. And some of them fell by the wayside. I remember one came and he had just gotten out of prison. And he had a brand new car. And I'm like, okay, you've been in prison all these years. That's a brand new car. Where you working at? He wanted my son to go for a ride. And the guy had his little baby with him. And I'm like, where did you get the car from? He said, oh, no. Cause see, no. And I told my son, I said, no, get in that car if you want. He'll go back to jail if they, find out that he's in a stolen car. And you will go as an accessory to crime. It wasn't a good week. His friend was back in prison.
There you go.
And my son was like, no, I like my freedom too much. I'm like, I'm good. I'm glad.
He listened.
And he watched.
Brandon Griffin, what's going on? He's an author. He'll be involved in some stuff that Gina's doing, by the way. And again, man, if they listen, we got a better chance of getting them. They don't listen, what can you do? And by the way, Jeff, just wanted to make sure that everybody knew when Jeff comes on, everybody, he's giving us this life coach, and he's coaching us. He's giving us a life coach. We call it the Mentos moment. So, it's the fresh maker. Y'all know?
Bam!
Right?
That's what I'm talking
All right.
Did y'all like the way I did that? Look at that.
I like that. That's nice.
I got to do my thing.
I like it.
Did you like that? You're going to love this. And make sure you got
all right now.
That is.
Tree sweet drink. All right. This is a delicious. Hey, man, I had a tree sweet drink slushy today.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, man. Y'all better try this, man. I'm telling y'all better get it.
Everybody freezes it. It's good.
That's what's up.
You said everybody freezes it?
Mm-hmm.
So what they trying to say? That just the regular way ain't good?
I guess after they drunk half of it, you know how it is. You save it for later. Put it in the freezer for your favorite snack or something, or they going for a ride, want to mix.
Slushies are always good.
Want to mix it, They do put it in the freezer.
I just forgot and left it in there. I did. So, this is sweating and stuff, so
We did ours too.
It's a big piece of ice right in the middle. So I'm good with that. You shake it up.
Yep, or squeeze it and break it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fight over here. We got one in the freezer.
Oh, that's all that's left? Until what, the weekend?
Yeah, Tree, where are you guys? I know we're getting off topic for a second. Where are you guys going this weekend?
Robbins Fest in the city of Robbins. We'll be there Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
Pretty much all day.
What, both days the same event?
Yeah, it's like different things they got going on. I'm waiting on them to send me a updated flyer so we can post it on social media.
Okay. Y'all be careful out there in Robbins.
Oh yeah.
He said, I'm not coming there.
I used to date a girl in Robbins, and I remember I was driving a yellow Chevy Chevette. Her name was Donna. And went to pick Donna up because we were going to go skating. And so I pulled up. Donna, she wasn't really ready, so I had to wait out there. I'm telling you, I was about to get carjacked.
Mm.
And that was back then. About to get carjacked. These guys came up, knocked on the window because I was laid back, playing my music out of my mono, my mono stereo, no bass. And
I don't know if they understand that one. That was back then.
back then, hey, look,
I
That's our days.
I'm not gonna pimp out no Chevette. I wasn't gonna have it that long, okay? So we ain't gonna pimp out no Chevette. But the dudes came, knocked on the window, and they were what you doing here? I said, I'm going to pick up my girl. Your girl, who was that? I said, her. She was coming out the door. It's like, nah, man, that's my girl.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do? And she was yelling, why don't y'all leave him alone? And right then I was like, okay. Now, fortunately, it was a hot day. I had my car already running and the air conditioning was on. I ain't no punk, but I ain't no dummy either, okay? So,
Mhm.
because one guy was like, hey, man, he got Indiana plates. He ain't from here.
Oh.
I took off, dude. I was gone. That's the last time I saw her, but last time she called a couple of times, but that was it, man.
We'll have Nye with us this weekend. So if anything, you know, I'm going to shut it down. Period. I don't put myself or my child in no danger. So
I was in Ann Arbor, Michigan today. If I come through though, I'll bring my guns. You know, hang out with y'all. They come through. I'll wear my hat this way. I'll be like,
Better hope it's going the right way.
stuff.
You just
You better hope it's tilted the right way.
I'll be like, what's up?
Just the right.
What's up?
You know what, Greg? That is a good point because that's part of the reason what's wrong with the Black family today.
take it. I was gonna say it.
I know where she's going. Go ahead,
These
Tree.
young boys and men, they are stunting or trying to be something that they're not to try to impress, and that's how they get the wrong impression and affiliated with these gangs, and they're quick to get involved in drugs because those who see that, they see that they are interested because how they portrayed themselves. And when you come off like that, or when you're rude to a young lady and stuff, or you know, you have some repercussions behind that. And that's how a lot of times these young boys are pushed out there so quickly because of how they portray themselves, and girls as well. You know.
But you know what? That comes too from family. Kids do want love and they do like structure. So when you don't get it from your family and then you're out there in the streets, and then that's one thing that how they get them, man, we'll be your family. We're your family. And especially like say if they're not getting like you said, they're looking at what's being portrayed, number one, but number two, they want to feel like they belong to something. And
Yeah.
sometimes they come to some, and unfortunately, you have to say some of the weaker males or females that don't feel like they belong to anything or any type of structure, and they'll veer that way. And then they're like, yeah, they're nice to them. We're family with this, with that, until they're in there, and then they realize, oh, yeah, you family, but you have to do this, you have to do
Yeah.
that. I watched a young man. I remember several years ago, the house I was living in, the people moved out and they started renting it out. And I would see young people coming during the morning time. Cars would pull up with book bags. They'd go in, they'd come out. And I saw a young man that was related to a family that I knew. And he was a good kid. And I called him one time over and I said, what are you doing? Oh, no, these just my friends. And I'm like, those aren't your friends.
Yeah.
And I tried to talk to him. I talked to the family and they were like, well, he came from a family of about 9 to 10 kids in the family. And it was like, everyone was cursing. You constantly saw a lot of cursing. You saw a lot of drinking, everybody cursing each other out. And if that's how your family is, where you curse, it's different than, hey, mom, hey, dad, or whatever. And you ask a question, now MF, da 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 da, and you know, as a young person, and that's how they're talking to you. They're
Yeah.
not having time because now you have a lot of kids there. You're either now being the babysitter / dad, other younger siblings. So now you're coming out there and you want something better that you think is better. But this young man, after, I was talking to him and the family was like, oh, he'll be all right. That's how the streets are. And he got to learn or whatever. He went to prison. I bless God that since he's been out, he's gotten a job. He found a little girlfriend. They've gotten an apartment. He's got a good job and he's doing well. And he was like, okay, I did not like that experience. And I never want to experience that again because some things happened when he was in jail because that was not him. That's just not the type of person that he is. And unfortunately, all children don't have that experience. Whereas if they experience that and they come out, and they know, look, I got to get things straight. I got to straighten out my life.
But Marcy, what if you come from a decent home and that's just a decision that you choose to make, being silly and not realizing the, what's the good word for it?
Repercussions from it?
Yeah. And then what if you, again, you put yourself in a situation that you can't get out of? Is it your environment? That's the question. Is it your household?
Sometimes it's not. It's your choices that you're making. You're choosing. It's your choices you're making. And like I think it was said earlier, what you're seeing on videos is what you're hearing in the music. It's some of the games. Some of the games like Grand Theft Auto and things like that. I remember when my son wanted games, and even my grandson, I would tell him, I said, come here, let me see that when we're at the store and things like that. Or they ask me, hey, can you pick up this game? And I'm reading the back.
Yeah.
And, and I'm looking at reviews. What is, it's teaching you how to steal cars. Oh, it's teaching you how to shoot up people. And it's teaching you, these things. We had what was that, Greg? Galaga? Things like that back in our days. It was spaceships.
Oh, you the one was driving the cars with no windshields. I don't know nothing about that,
man. No, that wasn't me. Like Fred Flintstone? Okay.
Well, I got a question though. So I let my son play Grand Theft Auto, and but I sat with him as he played it. Matter of fact, I played it for him first. I sat with him and made him understand this ain't real. This is just a game. So when you're saying, and I get what you're saying it taught them how to steal cars. It taught them how to do this. And if you're sitting there with them, you can dispel the fact that this isn't real. So my son was not taught to steal a car. He was taught, okay, as part of the game, in order to get some extra points, I got to get this car. All right. So that's what he was taught. It didn't teach him how to steal a car.
That goes back to, again, not allowing the games, the TV, the videos to be the babysitter. You sat there with your son. You taught him that this is make believe. Okay, I'm sorry, but that's the difference. You sat there and you talked to him and other kids. A lot of times, like I said, that's the babysitter. Oh, it's a game. Here, stick them in front of the television. They're like, oh, they're watching the movies. Oh yeah, look, oh yeah, they bad. They get respect and all of this. And if you're sitting there and you're teaching your child, that, like as we said earlier, teach your child, communicate. There's a difference in just putting them in front of these things and then just allowing their imaginations to run wild with it.
Go ahead,
since we talk about the Black family, let's look at it this way. Well, was it always in the Black family that, okay, for instance, let's just ask the question and see if it actually started here, okay? Because a video game is out, you know what I mean? And if a video game is out, there has to be some type of awareness being raised to the fact that, oh, there's violence on this game that can possibly be emulated. Now, it has to be emulated by a certain group of people. It has to be emulated by these people have to be showing that type of bad behavior. So that way, for instance, we'll just say like the parental advisory on CDs when that came out, they would say the bad behavior was being exemplified by a certain group. But have you ever noticed that it's not until the certain group that establishes it gets starts to how can I got the words in my head. I'm sorry. It's not until the main group wants to be a copy, they start trying to copy or emulate the behavior. That's what I'm trying to say. That's when they go ahead and they want to start putting warning labels on stuff and everything. Because like Greg said, he sat in front of the game with his child and taught him. So we can all honestly agree and say that in his household, his son wasn't taught. His son wasn't looking at something and trying to emulate that behavior in the game. So the thing is the question is, where does it start? Right. Where does it originate at? Like for instance, gangster rap. You know, here it is. You got Eazy-E, you got Ice Cube, you got NWA. You got them as a group. They coming out. They talking about their life. You feel me? But it's not until another group of people start to emulate that. Now it's a bad thing. A words of expression now turn into examples and ways to demonstrate hate towards people. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, if we get a hold of the grasp and we do like Greg and we actually teach it, instead of leaving your kid alone in his room where he can look at a game and he can say, like they said on Call of Duty, they said when you started like changing out the guns and doing all that, they said that's how some of them kids was learning how to actually load and unload those guns. Yeah, by playing Call of Duty. Now, I ain't gonna say it was us really doing it. I ain't gonna say it was us really doing, but I'm just saying, you know, since we talk about the Black family, you know, but it's just one of those things. Sometimes you just gotta look at history, yo. Look at history. Look who's a part of these cases, and look who's really affected. That'll really show you a lot of the truth.
My dad told me he was forced to go to the streets, and his mom and dad stood on him, but he said he was forced, you know, whatever that means. But
that was my next question. I don't know.
That's what he told us, you know, because he's lived the street life. So, and I'm not ashamed to. I'm not ashamed of my father. Right. That's his past, but he told us he was forced to the streets. He wasn't into the books like his mom, and his dad, you know, was trying to have him and clear him on the straight path like his brothers and sisters. He was the bad one. And for that, he had to make a lot of repercussions behind that.
Yeah.
Okay. Could forced mean that it could have been a way for him to cope with, you know what I mean? Him probably being around the wrong people. Could force mean that maybe some of these kids are in situations, you know, when they have to do for their family. So,
but yes and no.
Okay.
Because yes, because of that. No, mean because curiosity, interested, want to see, and once you start, you may like it. You can get yourself out, or can you not get yourself out?
Yeah.
And you know, it's sometimes the fast life is portrayed as being something fun and hey, you know, I'm on top of the world. And they don't really see the behind the scenes part of that. The consequences if you're caught, the constant having to look behind your shoulders because you're doing it and there are other people and other, I'll call them families or groups that's trying to do the same thing. And that's something that when I would talk to younger kids, I'm like, you know, it might seem like the fast life and it's fun and it's quick money and I can do what I want to do and I can get what I want to get. But in reality, can you? You can't, because you're still up under someone's authority. Mess up. Yeah, you're part of this family, but we're going to take care of you still. Then maybe some of them don't get out. I remember a family, a young lady, in-laws talked about her son's brother-in-law was in the fast life and in a gang. He decided he wanted to get out. He went to his dad, who was an ex-Marine. And so him and his dad went with a lot of money. They had money to the gang leader to tell him, hey, he now wants to get out of this lifestyle. And the result of that was They shot the father here in the middle of his head and killed the father and told the young man, no, you're in this family for life.
Mm.
And, you know, sometimes you can get out, sometimes you can't, sometimes they think, hey, I'm gonna get in this lifestyle, get in, jump out. And that doesn't always happen. And unless they see the bad side of it as well, sometimes when you go to jail or prison, you think they're gonna get you out. They're not. And you bet not tell what we're doing and how we're doing it as well. And it starts again, it goes back, I think, to younger children, parents being firm if they can, and if not, maybe aunts, uncles, teachers. You know, people are so afraid to say things to children nowadays, and I don't understand that.
And see, you know what? Also, and I was thinking about this as well. Um, in the Black families, there's a lot of taboo stuff going on as well, which kind of messes things up. So that you got cousins and uncles and everybody who've done the unspeakable to the younger female or
And
male,
males, yeah.
or male
Hmm.
members of the family, and that creates a bad, it leaves a bad taste in their mouth and creates a bad atmosphere for any growth for the family. Then, you know, and then the secrets, you know, are that they hide, and then it
Mm-hmm.
manifests itself.
Generation and generation.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's a lot of stuff that contributes to the breakup or the breakdown of the Black family. It's crazy. You know, I was just getting off the subject for a moment again. As I was doing some stuff, man, you know, I was in Ann Arbor today, and had opportunity to talk to some people, and I spoke on everybody on this panel. I trying to create an opportunity with the brand that I'm trying to push, which is Trees Sweet Drinks. Get it in all of this particular people's things. Talking about some people, and I'm saying some people a lot of times because I'm very tired, so I'm saying words again and again. But you know, to me, it's important. And I spoke to life coach Jeff briefly today. It's important, you know, one thing, and it goes along with what we're talking about as well. And I think I spoke to Marcy as well. And I'm not saying anything, so don't nobody get up out your feelings. First of all, everybody get up out your feelings. But there's a thing with me with loyalty and understanding. Okay, um, and I have to stay. I always want to stay transparent with what I do because I don't want anybody to feel that they weren't informed. But you know, and I'm not going to tell what I was doing today. You guys know, but you know, the audience doesn't need to know right now. They probably will see it. Okay, there'll be a domino effect. But as that was pretty
Mm,
good.
it was.
Real good. Real good.
Anyway, as I'm sitting there talking to these people, and I'm thinking about my family here, you know, and the loyalty that we give to each other is the same thing that I think families need to give to each other as well. A loyalty to, number one, let's talk about a lot of stuff. Let's understand what's going on, and let's collectively, as a family,
Hmm.
agree to disagree. That way, we can grow together. And I think that the Black families need to do the same thing because you know, as the structure has changed,
Hmm.
um, you got to find some way to connect. Okay, families are supposed to be loyal to one another. There's a lot that aren't. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and if that comes back, you know, you all correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I could just be stammering. I don't know. If there's loyalty in the family, and then we all come together, we talk about the things that we are different on, and we decide to come to some type of a happy medium. I think that creates, you know, the conversations there, the communications there, and it brings them closer together because we have talked about things, we have done things, um, individually, but we came together, we talked about it, and we've made a solution to make things better. I mean, you all see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. You're talking about like when
Yeah,
you
I
have broken relationships, and it's you have to realize that we all think different. We might have been raised in a different way, and we have to be okay that my thought process might not be your thought process, but it does not mean that one or the other is wrong and the other is right. And when we come to realize that we're all different and we can still come together, regardless of whether we have difference in views of something, and it could be the same thing, hey, El, and it could actually be the same thing, but it's still to keep the unity within the family dynamic. We just have, it's about respect. And again, knowing that we're all different, we have all different thought processes, and how to remedy a situation, and just to try to love and forgive.
Mm-hmm.
If something was said, and to know that at times when things are said, you can't necessarily bring them back. So if things that happen within your family, um, before you speak, sit back, especially if you're angry. Sit back and hold woosah, whatever you need to do before you're really saying anything.
And that's the practical way to do it. But when I say stuff, I generally mean it. Everybody say, "What's up, Dale?"
Hey, El.
What's up, El?
I like that how they switch places.
Yeah, you're on mute too, brother.
Yep. Hey, y'all, how y'all doing?
We're good.
Good to see you, man. Hope you had a great day.
You know what? I've been coughing. It feels like I'm coming down with a cold. And, they're always talking about how vitamin C is really good for you. And I picked up some Tropicana orange juice. I picked up some Tropicana orange juice today. And it's, and one thing, it's 100% orange juice.
Wow.
Came from freshly squeezed oranges. And it pretty much is they're oranges in a bottle.
Is Marcy advertising for Tropicana?
Hey, El, does that what it sound like, don't it?
Hey.
Vitamin C is good for when you're coming down with ailments, a cold or something.
I'm surprised she ain't got no dancing oranges behind us.
I've been running all day. I could have had a whole bowl of oranges with me.
That's all good. Good job, Marcy. Good job. Go ahead. Don't dance. Good job.
He said don't dance.
Can't do it too long. I can't get the rhythm.
I was, as I was out there, okay, Lord forgive me. I was out here, man, and I just happened to, and this is so funny. While I was out sitting there, what did they have for lunch? I'm not going to this. All right, y'all know what this is, right?
Hey, that's that cake.
Cute as a cupcake.
Well, here it's called Nothing Bundt Cakes.
Oh, nothing but
Bundt, B-U-N-D.
Oh, I know I know them well.
And this is black velvet right here. I mean, red velvet.
Black velvet. Oh,
I'm like black velvet.
I ain't had that one.
31 flavors.
Pretty much.
This is black. I mean, black. I keep saying black.
Red velvet.
Oh, thank you. And those are some good cakes, man. I don't care what nobody say. Hey, Gina says there are family members who are not speaking with each other because of an argument or disagreement. Why am I reading Gina's when she ain't on here? Then when that family member leaves this earth, the other is sorrowful because of the break in communication.
Yeah. That's something I want to talk about. Communication. That's exactly what I want to say. Communication in the black family, because it seems like a lot of times it's tough for black families to actually just talk things out. I know when I was younger, everybody was saying, don't say what I say, don't interrupt when I'm talking, don't enter into my conversation because it's grown folk talking. Now, you could have something as small as a question to ask. But why I got to be threatened by great granny to get popped in the mouth because I asked a question? Yeah. You be trying to figure out the logic behind it when you're young, and it makes sense. And it's like, well, I just want some understanding. I ain't trying. And then we equate that with getting smart with somebody. For us black folk, that's what we use. We say you're getting smart. We don't say you're talking back. We say you're getting smart with us. You know,
A child is to stay in a child's place, was how they used to put it.
Yeah, and then it's funny because a child is always in a child's place because a child is always curious.
Right, they're inquisitive.
Yeah, a child is always curious, and for some reason in the black family, we equate that to being misbehavior. We equate that to misbehavior when it's not misbehavior. When our other counterparts, they'll ask questions. They'll be like, Bobby's like, Mommy, why is the sky blue? Well, son, the sky is blue because of this, and this.
Because I said so.
Exactly. Here you go. Danielle, Jordan, why is the sky blue? Because I said so. It's because I said the sky is blue. Pop, because the sky is blue. Boy, stop that talking about.
I'm asking all them questions.
Yeah, stop asking. Don't you frown that lip up.
Don't pop them. They got 911 on speed dial for real.
I know.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because when they speed dial that and they come out, and the parent is already threatening that child, talk about what goes on inside. That's another thing with some brown families. You don't talk about what happens in this house. Exactly. And because of that, you call Child Protective Services. The kids are afraid, definitely afraid, because they know or they don't know, are they going to be able to protect me? And 9 times out of 10, a lot of times they're not. If there are no bruises anywhere, and the child doesn't come out, child can say da 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 da, but you think they're going to say that in front of their parent?
But you're giving them too much credit. The child is not thinking about all that. They're not thinking about none of that. All they're thinking about is, okay, I don't want to get in this punishment. I don't want to get hit or this and that. I'm calling the police because we can't.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. And then at one time, when they see that the system let them down, and the parent uses that. You remember last time you called? What did they do? They sent you right back. And what I do? I whooped that butt.
Ass. Say the word.
Donkey. I whooped that donkey.
Mercy.
But and so then they know, okay, whether I call or not. And that's how a lot of the kids fall through the crack, because now they're afraid. They're like, okay, and that beating was worse than the ones before that. To make sure that they know, oh, you don't call nobody. Oh, you gonna tell on me? And that was something we back in the day too. I'm gonna go tell daddy. Daddy, come home or whatever.
I was daddy's boy. All right.
I was daddy's girl.
I don't know. I always gravitated to my father, even whether he whooped me or whether he did whatever. Okay. I love my father to death. Okay. And you never know. And my father and I had a moment, being transparent. We had a moment where we did not see eye to eye. And it just was a bad moment in my life. And my mother was the one to get us back together and talking. And I'm so glad that she did, because at the end of the day, my father and I became so very close. And I was there with him when he passed. I was always coming to help when he got ill. And it was a beautiful thing. It was sad, and I'm still feeling it. It's only been 4 years. It was sad that he's gone, because I don't have the conversations that I used to have with him. But it was a beautiful thing, because I did everything that my father needed me to do. He was great. I found out this too. As I did my show, I had no idea that my father, at the end of the day, was a fan of the show. I didn't think he ever watched the show or anything like that. When he died, my mom had a box with stuff that my father had saved for all of our accolades. And there was a bunch of magazines. I was in a bunch of, the Vibe magazines and this and that. He had pictures. He had my copyright papers. I didn't even know. He had my copyright papers. He had magazine clippings. He had even has a video of me doing my show. And I'm like, wow. He had all of this stuff, awards that I gotten, and all of my brothers as well. But I didn't think that what I did, because I didn't do the conventional jobs that thought we should do. I mean, I did them, but I stopped so that I could pursue what I was doing. I didn't think he was that proud of me, but he was so proud of me, you know. And we used to talk about it all the time. You know, he said he's proud of me, he's proud of all his boys and this and that. But to see that he preserved and had memoirs of that was beautiful to me. And I think, you know, that those kind of things, when you're telling your children or showing your children that you're proud of what at a young age, you're proud of what they're doing, you know, like, and I'm gonna use Nye with L
3 and L.
Nye doesn't have to, you know, she doesn't have to do what she's doing. She doesn't have to be interested, I should say, in helping the family with this endeavor that they're doing. All right.
Right.
But she's 100% in, and she's a school student. She plays sports, all right. But she's going for the cause. Okay, that's a beautiful. I'm telling y'all,
it is.
I wish you guys had been there when I met this family. You know, they were in. It wasn't a huge event, so to speak. I don't even think it was in their genre of events to be at in my eyes. But they were all three there, and they were doing what they had to do in order to get the product out. And that's the first thing I saw. I was thirsty. I didn't see no ice. I ain't seen, you know, saw the family. And I said, okay, let me go over here. And, you know, again, I asked them to surprise me. They were a family. They picked it. I drank it. I loved it. And I could not be more a part of a family than I am with these guys right here. Why? Because they're genuine. You see the genuine family with these guys. I mean, I love y'all, man. Y'all are really a family that can show other families a lot, man.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we try to do, because I got one of my biggest like sayings that I tell, because Naya's not my only child. I have actually 3 other kids. But my biggest saying, you know what I'm saying, that I tell my kids and I had them take with them, where you're from is exactly what you're supposed to represent. And it took them a long time to actually understand what that meant. And I had to explain to them, like, if you go to school one day and you act out in class, that teacher that had the wrath for you, let's say as if that teacher's going to have your other siblings in her class, that's what they're going to, you know what I'm saying, predict.
Yes.
Your other sibling. So when you go someplace, you need to act out where you're from. You know, we don't do the cursing, the back talking, the not listening, the joking around, none of that. That ain't what we teach you in the house. So why would you leave this house and go out there and act the way that you are not taught at home? Because I say it to all my kids. How would you feel, you know what I'm saying, if I came, you know what I'm saying, to one of your events, one of your games, and I'm just rowdy, you know what I'm saying, loud and obnoxious. So when your friends and their family see me, that's what they're going to anticipate that you are when you're from.
Exactly.
That's what we do as a family, you know, to teach our kids and others. Even though I'm saying with Naya and her friends when they come over, very nice, very respectful. Have not had no problems with none of them. And every time, you know, saying she bring a friend over, they say, your parents are so nice. And she's like, who? Those parents? We just look like, okay, Naya, it's just a respect thing. And it's like a lot of kids nowadays, you really can't help them all, but just that one time that you take, you could just, one thing you can say to them that'll just change them in an instance.
Absolutely.
You know? And I mean, that, like I said, that's what we do come from our household. And that's the reason why when you see Naya, that's the reason why she is. Because Naya knows, like, hey, I have to be who I am, not who everybody portrays to be. And I really feel like that is another big thing within the environment today. I'm not gonna say the world, you know, because it's different environments that build this world. Every environment is different, and everybody, you know, saying that lives in a certain environment adapts to it instead of allowing that environment to adapt to them. And I'm saying that's one thing I've learned. You know what I'm saying, to allow environment to adapt to me instead of me adapting to it. So if I have something to give, something to teach, you know what I'm saying, something that I learned that I can give to somebody else, that's what I do.
See, that's the Black family, man. And that's what I'm talking about. That's an example of a black family that it hasn't broken. Okay. Right? But there's so many out there that have. Okay. And if the example of a family that's not broken can teach, and as El said, even if we got just one person, we start that trend. You know, can't get them all in a group together and just say, hey, okay, let's introduce the family here and everybody in the world. Y'all listen, we can't get everybody in the world like
no,
that.
you can't. You got to just start with just one and let that one, you know what I'm saying, follow over to another. Everybody is not going to accept it, not going to agree with it, but somebody will, because somebody will get to the point like, yeah, I really don't like, you know, being in this atmosphere, this neighborhood. So the thing is, you don't have to leave that neighborhood. You can actually do something to help that neighborhood. It just takes, you know what I'm saying, one thing that you can do that's going to, you know what I'm saying, evolve to something else. I mean, like, just knock on somebody's door and say, hey, I know you don't know me, but I'm your neighbor that's living behind you. I just want to say hi. My name is this. If you ever need anything, I'm right behind you.
Right.
What happened to those days when you can do that? Now you can't even walk on somebody's porch, like, get off my porch, get out of my yard, you trespassing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's so much fear in people because of the trust that they don't have because of what somebody else has done.
Yeah, in society. You know, I like how he said when nice friends come over, and I experienced that with my dad. And I have a sister and brother 10 and 12 years under me. And my brother had friends, whereas on a Friday night, he would ask my parents, my dad and stepmom, hey, can so-and-so stay over tonight? And a couple of those kids, that overnight lasted 2 to 3 years. They came from dysfunctional families. And they end up pretty much staying. And I would laugh because I would tell people, oh, I have a whole lot of brothers from other parents. And at my dad's homegoing services, it was just mind-boggling. All of the young men that, you know how when you get the 2 minutes, you can speak remarks. And all the young men, pardon me?
So you mean the 5 minutes? They tell you 2 minutes, but
oh yeah, 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 the 10 minutes. But and all the young men that came through in tears and just stating how came from a dysfunctional family, but the Amos household took me in, and Mr. Amos taught me how to be a man. Miss Amos loved on us and taught us what it really meant to be in the family dynamic. And a lot of these kids, a lot of their siblings, older siblings and things, went the wrong way because they might have, you know, didn't have someone to do that. And that's why I feel within the family dynamic, it's so important to, like you said, neighbors, pull the kids in. Other kids, you know, if you're at a school function, pull the kids in, engage them in conversation, but do it in the correct way, because nowadays it'd be like, that's a dirty old man.
Exactly.
Is this woman trying to hit on me? And, you know, things like that. So within the dynamic of your children being there as well.
Right.
And that's another way you can build the family. And it might not be the traditional family, you know, it's the added on, the family in love that you're adding on and being able to teach. And a lot of times, like I think it was said earlier, they might not listen to you and the parents, but they'll be quick to listen to someone outside of the family. And a lot of times they have a lot to do with how the parents are in the family household. Have you lied to them a lot? What are they actually saying there? And where is they, you know what? How can I listen to this person, even though that's my mom or my dad? They're preaching one thing and living another lifestyle. You know, so that's why it's so important to just, even outside of the normal family dynamic, to bring them in.
It is important to do that too, but it's also important to have those, and we said that before, those conversations with your kids to make sure they're cool. So we have a special guest that's coming on right now. His name is Stephen Walton.
Yes.
What's going on, brother?
All right. How y'all doing today?
Hi, how are you?
How you doing, brother?
Great. Now he has an interesting story, I'm told, and concerning things that have happened in his past and everything. So let's give him the floor for a minute. Go ahead, Stephen. What's going on, man?
What is it? What is it that you want to know?
I want to know everything, okay? Because we're talking about the black family, okay? What is it that in your eyes, okay, that disturbs the makeup of the black family, okay? And how can we get it back in your eyes?
As far as you talking about black families,
Mm-hmm.
man, we have to stick together, man. We've been through a lot, you know. We see what we doing, but we're not doing what we supposed to do. We aware what we doing, but we still not doing what we supposed to do. We know what to do, and we still not doing what we supposed to do. You know, everybody needs to come together.
Now I understand that you're a father, and you've had some things that happened to you late, in the past. If you don't mind talking about it, because I think that if people knew how you come through the adversities that you come through, the things that you may have done, that you knew you were doing, but streets always pull us this way. People always pull us another way. Okay, if you can tell people a little brief synopsis about some of the things that have happened to you and how you got through them, I think that it could teach a lot of people.
Oh man, that's a lot. Where you want me to start?
So start from like your childhood. Start talking about how all that happened. Like, when grandma used to tell you this and that, and you was just rebellious and you did what you want to do. Start
And
from
by
there
the way,
so they can hear you. They
and
can
by the way,
understand.
Okay,
this is
okay. I
Trees.
grew up with 10. It was 10 of us that grew up together. 7 girls, 3 boys. I got uninterested in school when I got interested into the streets.
How?
And it was like I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what I was supposed to do, but poverty and passing the shoes down to one another, going through stuff, and people don't understand what I'm going through, and it just pulled me to the streets, and it was interesting. It was basically for me to go through it to become the person I am today.
So did it seem like to you that there was nobody, you knew how you wanted to be, but nobody wanted to listen to you?
No, it really wasn't that. It was more so me listening to me than worrying about somebody else trying to listen to me. Show me something. I had to get it, and I didn't understand that I needed to get it. I didn't need you to teach it to me. I couldn't find it on the corner. I had to get it myself.
Mhm.
I waited for people to help, but back then the brothers was helping each other a little bit more. The fathers was more in the family. I grew up with my father, and everybody on my block had their mother and their father in their life. It's a big difference when you don't have that. When you have it, you still take advantage of it. So you
Yeah.
go through a lot, going through those phases,
So what was
and
it?
everybody going through phases, huh?
I just want to ask, just quick, what was it that you were kind of, searching for? You know what I mean? What was it you were looking for? Because it seems like, you had you had both parents in the household. You had a good dynamic going for you. You was told the right way to go. But what was that thing that you were looking for? What was that missing
Missing.
piece, that disconnect, that led you to get out there?
Not worrying about financial, you know, obstacles. Basically, if I didn't have that concern or worry about trying to get a dollar to make it for today and tomorrow, it would have been a little different, because you chase the struggle and you chase it over just to take care of yourself and your family. Here it is, it's in a circle. You're doing it. You're gonna do it next week. You're gonna do it the week after that. You're gonna do it the week after that. It's got to change. I was looking for greatness, still am.
You were looking for what? I missed that.
Greatness.
Oh, greatness. Okay.
Greatness.
And you said you still are?
I still am.
So what point do you at what point do you feel that you're going to reach the greatness? Because
Yeah.
the kids are grown now, right?
Right.
Okay, so you know they're on their own. They're doing their own thing. Okay, so now, were you there with the kids all the time?
Yes, I was
Okay,
there with them.
okay, so you raise your kids. They're great now. So my question is, and not to sound demeaning or anything, but why are you still looking for greatness at this point?
Because I'm looking for the peace and the greatness. I'm looking for peace. You know.
Okay. Let's
You know.
let's think about that a little further, because you said peace. You know, peace, brother. That starts from within. You know, so what is it? I guess another question, because you know, with this, you go through a series of questions within yourself. So we just getting deeper. So what is that peace? You know what I mean? What is that peace you still searching for? If everything kind of is peaceful around you, you know, what more of that peace are you searching for? Is it more of in here?
Yeah. More so. More so
Okay.
up in the brain. More so than anything.
Okay. More so just your way of thinking. Is it how things are articulated to you? How you kind of process the information?
It's more or less of the peace of mind of I've been through so much, man. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with it was 10 of us, and you know I went to the penitentiary early, and I stayed there, got out 4 years, come back there 2 years later to do 2 more years.
Mm,
You know, so I went through a lot. You know, then I'm dealing with the Chicago street, the gang. Is either you in it or you gonna get run over. You know, I dealt with that from 11 years old to 39,
okay.
maybe 40 years old. Then you get trapped, you know. Once you get trapped,
Okay.
it's hard to get out.
But you got out.
Yeah, yeah, I got out. It wasn't an out like somebody let me out. I
Mm,
quit thinking that way and I started living different.
Mm,
ah,
thought process.
okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
So you
Other
and
than
you
that,
let go,
I'll still be in it.
okay. And you let go of those connections you had, right?
Yes, I let go of all that, but then again, I
Okay.
still have friends, you know, and everybody got older, they changing.
Mm-hmm.
They trying to be responsible. They're trying to get with their families now. It's not too late.
It's
It
not too
just
late.
took too long.
That's good.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
that's good.
do you think that the length of time that you held on to these other friends, the circumstances that had you behind bars, do you think that impeded your thought processes to make you great?
Yeah, in a sense, because it was meant for me to be there to guide those brothers, to give them some kind of valuable information, some kind of peace of mind. Because everybody I came and connected with during that time, I helped them with a maybe a sandwich, but more or less a word of wisdom. It was meant for me to be there,
Okay.
just like it's meant for me to sit here and talk to y'all on this
Absolutely,
line. It's
Hmm.
meant.
absolutely.
It was meant to happen.
We appreciate you sharing your story with us, man. And you know, it's helpful to hopefully those that are watching because everybody goes through something. We got to go through something in order to get to something, okay? And it's interesting to see what other people go through other than myself. You know, I've never been to prison, but you know, I've been homeless and things of that nature. It's a long story that we've told so many times before. But you know, I've always felt that as long as I had a good circle, as long as I had good people behind me, and as long as I had God, I'm great regardless. And no matter what
Mm-hmm.
comes in front of me, I'm gonna make it happen, okay? And I'm going to succeed. I don't care if I succeed on the level that I am now or any other level. Any step that I make that's a positive step is a success for me.
There you go. I
Hmm.
want to tell you,
It
brother,
only
you
works through God. God is the key. That's all I got to say. It's the key.
Go ahead, John.
I couldn't be here talking to y'all if it wasn't for him.
Yeah.
You know.
Mhm.
So anybody don't believe in it, trust me. I'm telling you, he's true. I was in. Let me tell you this quick story. True story. I was in the courthouse facing 120 years in Florida, and they seen a tattoo on my body from a gang in Chicago, Gangster Disciples, and they looked at me different, you know. So I'm like, wow, they try to charge me. I'm in there I was in there for fraud. They try to hit me for racketeering, starting the Bloods and the Crips down there. I didn't understand that. So I'm like, wow, they try to give me 120 years. So I go back in the bullpen and I hear a loud knock, but there's so much noise. Guys are talking in the bullpen, but I hear this certain knock, and I look up, and you know how you just say, "Wow, what? Hello?" And that's what I did. It's a true story. It was God knocking at the door. They called me back in the courtroom, eliminated all the charges, sent me back to Chicago on the bus with no charges, no probation, no nothing. I had 3 years worth of probation left. I had $10,000 worth of what was that? Restitution.
Mm.
And I walked out of there because of God told me. And ever since that day, my life has changed. So he touches us in different ways. Only y'all know if he's touching you or not. But
So,
he is real.
so I have a question.
Go ahead.
So with all that, how do you think that affect your sons and daughters?
My sons and daughters,
Mhm.
well, I've been telling them what I just told y'all and how God will come into your life and guide you and help you. I think they listening
That's a good thing.
because things is happening in their life that's changing. Once you doing this and next you can't do this, then all of a sudden you're doing very well.
And I want to know.
So you know,
I want to know. I had to ask too. This is actually Tree's father. Okay.
Okay.
So just so you know, but I wanted to go back a little bit. Now, when you went in the first time, you got out, you're refreshed, you're a new man. Okay. What happened to make you go back in for the second time and do another 3 years? I mean, you knew what you did the first time, it was wrong, but you decided to do it again, do something. I don't know what it was. Do something again. And again, we're not judging you. I'm trying to get some knowledge and some inspiration. You went back in. What made you go? What made you, after getting out and spending the time that you did the first time? What made you say, okay, well, I haven't had enough? Or did you ever think that, okay, I've been in there, this time I'm going to change? That's it.
that's what made me go
Something else.
back in.
What happened?
What had happened was I didn't learn my lesson. I thought, continuing hustling and street would give me the money that I need to survive. But plus, I had to go back in because it was mandatory. Just like I'm talking to y'all, it just had to be. It was somebody in there. Maybe I need to get through to somebody I had to talk to. So I had to take the sacrifice and go in there. But I wrote a poem in there. Y'all want to hear it?
Why not? Let's go.
It's a true poem. She said, "No, but it's a true poem. It's like a revolving door.
You don't want to hear it, Tree?
You know what I'm saying? Brothers go in and out, but you know what I'm saying? They don't understand. Once they get in there, they come back out, then they go back in. Why? Because they never learned what they were supposed to learn. It's a true story.
And understanding that now, there's a panel member on here. He's not on here today. He's actually my little brother. He's 50 years old, Uji. He's went in, went out, got house arrest. That got taken away, went back in, another 2.5, 3 years. Spent a lot of time in there, okay? At what point do you say, well, enough is enough? All right. Yes, it's things happen for a reason. You got to learn something in order to understand that it's not what you're supposed to be. But does that really happen? I mean, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but does that really happen? Is that who's that? That's hey Nye. There's your granddaughter.
Does it happen? What you mean?
Does that happen? Do you really think that the and I hope I'm saying this right. You go back in. Um, do you really think that that's the key to making you change?
Yes, sometimes it is. To be honest with you, sometimes everybody on this thing got somebody that they know or family member been in prison, got out of prison, and went back to prison. How is
Mhm.
that happening to everybody on this same family at the same time?
But
Everybody went through it.
here's my thing. Here's my thing. If you know, and you mentioned in family a lot, and like I said, in no way am I trying to come at you. I'm trying to get some clarification. You got family, and you know that if you do this, my family's going to be affected. Okay, so does that even resonate? And I've asked my brother this as well. Does that even resonate? You got this going on, and you may be trying to, okay, you're getting money up because you're trying to do better for your family, you want to do this, okay, but you know that's the wrong thing to do for the family. Are you really thinking about your family, and do you really change? Because if you're still doing the same thing and go back in, there's no change, and I don't think that there's no thinking about the family at that point.
You're not thinking about family. I mean, you're concerned, but you're not thinking about it because you're thinking with blinders on. You're aware that your action is going to affect your family, but you still going to take that sacrifice. Not even once you get locked up, the family is hurt. It hurts
Right.
your mate, your mother, father. It hurts everybody. You don't think about that till you're sitting on the end of that bunk. Then you realize I shouldn't have did this. I should have did that. A lot of times it's meant for people to go to prison to sit down and get their thoughts together, to get their health together. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I don't want nobody to go to prison, but I'm against it totally. But sometimes it have to be. No one on here didn't have to go, but y'all know somebody went.
Absolutely. But and the good part about it is you're here to tell the story.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's the good part. So
Mhm.
we're glad that you're here to tell the story, because I can hear in your voice how passionate you are about wanting to do the right things now. And speaking of that, what are you doing now, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, right now I'm doing all the right things. I give God praises first. I go to church. I take care of my wife. My kids are grown. I cook soul food, egg rolls,
That's what's up.
oxtails,
Now you
collard
talk.
greens dipped in yam sauce, and that's what I'm on right now.
Show's over.
Everything
That
we eat as
sounded really
soul food, I
good.
roll it.
Wait, did you say collard greens dipped in yam sauce?
Yes, ma'am. Collard greens dipped in yam sauce. I got jerk. I got shrimps and macaroni,
Shrimps and macaroni.
corned beef and cabbage. Everything we eat as soul food, I roll it.
I'm writing that
Some of
down.
that.
And y'all will love it.
I see what
You
you're
will
doing.
love
I
it.
see what
I
you're doing,
love
Greg.
it.
I see what you're doing.
You all.
We need to talk about that.
They got plates.
Stop being greedy, Greg.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Trees,
Let's
sweet
go.
drinks, along with some good soul food. Come on now.
Man.
I had it. It's
Yes, we
really,
trying to put it together.
it's good.
So Tree,
Hey,
you got
Deliciously different soul food egg rolls.
so
That's the name of my company. That's what I'm doing. I pop
That's
up
a
on the corner with
right.
with the whole setup and cook it.
no shit. I mean, no stuff.
Huh?
I said a curse word because you look, man.
Yeah,
Food.
you did.
Hey, I'm a bachelor. I'm a bachelor, man. So look, look. What time is it now? Oh yeah, no shit. No shit. Man, look, I'm ready. I'm ready for something right now. Woo!
Hey,
You're
I
a
want to
Mr.
tell you this, brother. I want to tell you this. That piece that you said that you was looking for, you ain't got to find that piece no more. You know, you have arrived with that piece, with everything that you are doing right now in your life. That is your piece, dog.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to own that, and I want you to recognize that. And I want you to walk in that, brother, because everything you doing right now, that is your piece. Don't
I'm gonna
ever say
set that just like that.
there you go. Don't ever say you're searching for it no more, brother, because that is it. You hear
Pop
me?
with the season salt.
Look, I'm just
See,
grabbing.
I didn't
He
even
just
know
got
I
a
had.
big
I didn't even know I was there yet.
Bro, you there?
Still trying,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm there.
You
Yep,
just said
you already there, man. Just walk in it, brother. That's all it is.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Tree, how do you feel? How do you feel with everything that your father's saying?
I knew. I just wanted him to tell his story. Sometimes people look at you different, or they judge you, and they don't know your real life struggle. And I just wanted him to come on, as my father, telling you guys. But I wanted you guys to talk to him as a person. I didn't want him to have any type of favoritism because he was my dad. So that's why we didn't announce that he was my dad until in between. But it was good for me to see that, and good for him to know. And Pop, I'm proud of you. I think you've done. See, he cuts me off. I think you've done a 360. I think that your grandkids have really, really, really helped you see the light. I do, and your kids.
I did a 720.
Woo!
I did a 720.
You're pushing it. I think your grandkids really, really helped a lot. And your wife. Is mommy there? Can she say hi?
Yeah, she there. She in the background.
Hey, brother Steven.
Can she say hi to us?
She said hi. She don't want y'all to see on camera. She ain't got her hair to the lick. A cat normally lick her hair, so he ain't licked her hair yet.
Oh my.
Hey, brother Steven.
That was cute.
Yes, sir.
You can make that 360, man, and I'm gonna need some of that shrimp, man. I got my spoon. Look, we can open up a place together, man, and call it Renner Spoons.
Where can I get it to you? Where are you? You here in Chicago? No,
I'm not. I don't live here. But everybody can rent these spoons, man, and you just provide the food.
That spoon a little too small.
Yeah, it is.
Bigger spoon. You can't get nothing. That ain't even the whole taste.
Don't mess my.
I got a lot of different food for y'all. Wish I can get it to y'all.
Oh, you shall trust and believe. My name
Have
is
car
Greg.
will travel.
We will make this.
Okay. All right. Okay. Cool.
Hey man, that is a great, inspiring story, and it's a story that's confirmed by your daughter who's on here and your granddaughter over there as well. All right, say hi to Naya, everybody.
Hey, Nye.
Hey, Naya.
Looking good back there. I was like, okay, who is that? Go ahead. And yours too, Missy.
Steven, can I tell you a story real quick?
He didn't hear you, I think.
Can I tell you a story?
Me?
Hey, Steve. Yeah, Steve, can I tell you a story?
Yes, sir.
All right, so hold on, Siri acting up. Siri, shut up. Okay, once upon a time, man, there was this guy. All he wanted was a cheesecake. Right?
I knew it.
All he wanted was a cheesecake. So he didn't eat anything the entire day. And at the end of the day, he said, okay, man, look, I know my cheesecake gonna be available, all right? But alas, the wicked stepmother's daughter, she ate the cheesecake, and all that I got was a slice, a sliver.
You do know that's towards me, right, Pops? That's towards me.
Hold on, I'm telling my story.
Yeah, I know you're talking about you.
Interrupting. So thus, to this day, from 2020 to 2021, to this day, I still haven't gotten my cheesecake.
Really, Greg.
I can show you a text right now where it says I'm gonna
have it.
Pardon me?
We have it, Greg. Huh? We have it.
It'll be gone before the night is over because Nye's sitting right behind
you. You might get an egg roll before you get a piece of pie.
I believe I will get an egg roll. Steve and your granddaughter ate my pie, not once. Twice.
What kind you want? What kind of egg roll you want?
Shucks, we in the month. Hey, Tree, go get my egg roll, all right? Can you do that for me?
What kind of egg roll you want?
Tree.
Collard green dips in yam sauce.
I heard you the first time. I know you want the collard greens. You want collard greens and sweet meat, or collard greens and turkey? Dipped in yam.
Surprise me.
Talk dirty to me. Why don't you?
If you don't eat pork, I got turkey.
Man,
I
will eat deer hooves, man. Okay, just look. I don't care.
What deer hooves?
I'll eat skunk ass. Okay, look. If you gonna Collard greens. If you're gonna wrap it up, man, and you're gonna add some flavor to it, man. I'm there. Okay, look, surprise me. Look, that's all I can say.
Okay, I got you.
Surprise, Tree, you gonna get my egg roll for me?
Sure.
Tree's gonna get it for me. Okay.
You're gonna put it with those cheesecakes.
That's in the freezer.
Put it with the cheese. Nah, they still in the freezer.
I'm just messing with them.
No, Steven ain't gonna let
that
that
cheesecake.
He got
I really like to cook mine fresh on the spot. I need to come to you.
You're gonna have a long ride, bro.
That's a long ride.
Oh man, look, you got 5 hours.
Yeah, 5 hours?
Really? It's gonna be cold back here. You gonna be cooking on the road?
No, I'm gonna cook it. I'm gonna cook it when I get to you.
I don't let nobody use
in front of you.
I don't let nobody use my kitchen.
You got I
don't let nobody use my kitchen. You got to get back Jerome.
Man, I got a hot plate. That's all I need. Give me a plug, and I got you.
Okay. I seriously, man. I want to try that. Okay, and based on what you've been through and where you at right now, man, the way that we are here on Dope Living TV Live, we support, man. We definitely want to check it out. I have my spoon already ready. If I need to get a different color spoon, I'll get that.
Yeah, get a bigger spoon.
Oh, what state are you in?
Chicago, Illinois.
Well, you're in. Okay, so you are in this area. Okay.
So you can get there. They can get theirs tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Were they close to me?
Oh yeah.
Y'all close to me? You guys close to me?
I'll tell you off air.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, off air. Okay, cool. Don't worry about it. I got them. When one tastes it, all of them gonna want to taste it.
But see, that's the thing. That's the thing that where my stuff at.
We'll let you know how it tastes, Greg.
Huh?
We'll let you know how it tastes.
You're extremely funny.
Thank you, sir.
The humor just spills out from Marcella when it's against me. That's all good though.
We're talking about food. I'm excited.
You excited? Look, I'm sitting up here with some damn paper plates. All right,
he sure is, and a spoon.
And a spoon. I'm ready.
A little spoon, though. That little spoon. That's just a tease.
And some Windex. I don't know what a Windex comes in at, but
where the Windex come in at?
Yeah,
you know what? To wash it all down, man, I got this core. It's perfectly balanced pH water, man. And you know what, Steven? If we drank this, okay, if you throw the bottle away, man, it is 100% recyclable. So it could come back as the spoon.
That's true, though.
Help him, Lord. Help him.
I'm just saying. We can come back as this spoon. Somebody just popped on. Who that is?
Gina.
It is
Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Chris got 7 more minutes.
Hey, Chris.
He still ain't speaking. See that?
He's in that black hole.
He's in the black hole.
Chris, we are in here talking about Black families, and we got the patriarch of Tree's family, Stephen Watson here. Is it Watson?
Walton.
I'm sorry, Walton. I said Walton.
Walton.
My bad. Everybody jump on me.
Like John Boy, Walton. You know.
Don't even lie. I believe everything you said.
I used to hate that shit. Hey, Chris, we can hear your conversation. We believe everything they say.
You said I'm thinking.
But
he don't hear you.
We thank you, Stephen, for coming on and holler at us, man. And this has been very beneficial for us. Number one, we got a little background about how things can happen in a Black family and how you come through it to get to a point. Mm-hmm. And then we're getting some tacos of different flavors. So
tacos, egg rolls.
Tacos, egg rolls.
Soul rolls.
I like
soul roll.
Ding, 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 ding. Chris, soul rolls, bro. Now he's in Las Vegas. You got to go eat your father for him. All right. Oh, see, he on one thing, and then he comes on this other thing. Okay. Let's have Chris real quick.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Well, Chris, you sitting next to Stephen Walton. That's Tree's father.
How you doing, Chris?
Hey, what's going down, Steve? How you doing, man?
All right.
Chris, we getting some soul rolls.
Soul rolls, brother.
Collard greens dipped in yam sauce.
Or you get chicken, vegetables.
Yeah, my mother used to cook that. It's like a Thanksgiving meal in one row.
Ooh.
It's a meal in a roll.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's exactly what it is. A meal in a roll.
Yeah.
He not like Tree though, Chris.
What you mean?
You'll get every single
Jeffy,
the whole thing.
okay.
You get the whole thing.
I mean, I tried 4 of them. Treat. I let Treat know. I tried 4 of them, and I asked her, did she think about doing the flavored shaved ice or popsicles?
Yeah, we got that. I'm talking about Steve now. I'm saying in correlation to Tree. See, Tree gives you a sliver. And you probably got the little shot glass stuff of.
No, that's what I needed because I had to sip on it. Because the very first one, hey, look, Tree, the very first one, I didn't read what you put on the package to take a sip, so I took it to the head. No,
you did purple. You did Purple Rain first.
To the head. That's the first. That's the one everybody was talking about. That's the one I took straight to the head.
I like Passion a lot.
You didn't like it, Chris?
No, I loved it.
That's
I
what
loved it.
I'm telling you.
I did, but you were supposed to sip it and then drink it with water. I took the whole thing to the head. I didn't even drink it with water.
No, that was good, Chris. Just after your next one, just sip water.
No, I've been doing it since then. I tried 4 of them. I tried the Sunset, the Passion,
Purple Rain,
the Purple, and the 5th.
I guess I don't need to do the water because I only drink Purple Rain.
No, that wasn't it.
I mean, let's get off the Tree's drinks, man. Let's get off the Tree's.
I'm just trying to figure out which one I like, so I can go to Tree and we can make that the meals drink.
Okay, we not talking about you right now. We're talking about Steve.
Hey, look, Steve and myself already.
Steven, you see how this family is that you've just become a part of?
Steve,
Yeah, I see.
Steve, did we just have an understanding that it was a meal in a row?
Yeah.
Okay, but what I was saying was, at least you're gonna get the whole meal.
That's cool.
Tree only gives you a portion.
Look, I got. She said 12. She said 12.
Thank you, Chris.
I have 8 left.
You got 8 what? Shot glass?
Hey, I don't think I need is the roll. I can go and take 4 of them. I can take 4 of them and put them on my side. Everybody I take a sip. Everybody I take a sip, bro.
That's right, Chris.
I know how to maintain.
Okay, you didn't hear the story about my cheesecake and how I was promised a whole and I got a sliver. I'm talking, I'm saying Steven will give you the entire meal in a row. The entire thing.
Look, I'm gonna be 100 with you. If Steve's Tree father, you just put a little cut with a little roll on it, and he gonna put that in aluminum foil and just send you that little roll, that little piece.
No, you didn't hear what he said. He said he would prefer to come and cook it in front of you. He got his hot plate to go.
Hey, G, that was before I got on. Me and Steve here already, bro.
Right.
Hey, Steve, I can curse. Okay, so I'm just gonna tell you, don't listen to that bullshit. Okay,
Steve, he know. Hey, Steve, he know.
Push that to the side. All right. But anyway, man, yeah, I cannot wait to taste it. All right, we have been talking about black families. Okay, and here's a black family on here right now. This the Waltons. Okay. Hey, Steven, how many kids do you have? Steven, how many kids? How many?
Look, if you can hunt, you can hear.
No, it was a helicopter, riding around. I couldn't hear.
No.
What, you in Compton?
No, it seemed like it. It's getting close to it.
No, I asked how many helicopters?
How many helicopters?
How many children do you have?
How many what?
Children. Kids.
How many kids do I have?
Okay.
Blood kids or kids?
Grown kids.
I got let me see.
This is
How many I
interesting.
got, baby?
You should know that. No. He's talking to my mom, by the way, Chris.
After you get to, I feel you, Steve. After you get to a certain number, you stop counting.
Yeah, I think I got 8. She say.
That's what I'm saying. When you get to a certain number,
I have a question. How old are your kids?
No, don't do him like that. Don't do him like
I
that.
got 338 year olds. I got 338, 38, 38, 38.
Are they
How far
triplets?
apart are they?
Are they
I got
triplets?
two 25-year-olds. That's
2 weeks apart.
Yeah, I got two 25-year-olds. That's a day. That's a 5
You got
months.
2 25s?
Yeah, that's the 5 months
Are
and
they
a day.
twins?
Yeah,
Are they twins? Are they triplets? Are they twins?
they
No, they all got different mamas,
Y'all creeping.
mothers. They all got different mothers.
I bet both of y'all was listening to Luther Vandross at the time, wasn't y'all?
No, I'll be 100 with you. At the time, it was H-Town, and every time I see GI, I say, you owe me child support money, bro.
Knocking the boot.
Every time
He
I
said
see
it was H-Town.
Shazam, every time I see it, I'll be like,
How many grandkids you got?
Oh, Lord, Tree, you going to do this?
19.
How old is
I got 19.
How old is your oldest?
Huh?
How old is your oldest grandchild?
22.
And just real quick,
I'm going to let this play out. Go ahead.
Family, this is family.
And just real quick, can you tell the story of why you called Naya her nickname?
What's
Life.
Mm-hmm.
Her nickname is Life. When my mother died, she was born. So I said, I'm going to name her Life. Because life came back into her from my mother.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love it.
So Naya, you know I'm calling you Life from here on out, right?
Right. Call her Life.
And do you really?
You said one.
No. Do you really understand that she's a girl and not a boy?
No.
No.
Why
She a
is
boy
that?
in a girl body.
Why?
Because she a boy.
Why?
She a boy, man. That's it.
Why? Is that what you wanted? You wanted a grandson?
Hey, keep the cameras rolling.
Yeah, I wanted her to be a grandson.
Entertainment. Reality. This is reality.
Yeah, she's a girl. I know. I know. Life's a girl. I get it.
But he said he got it.
I got gym shoe now.
Now you got gym shoe.
That's another nickname.
So this is what I want to ask Steve. Steve, I know you got a nickname for each grandchild, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna have to get there. I only got 2, bro. So I'm
Man, look, I don't call nobody by their name. Everybody have a nickname. My wife's name is Smooth.
What's Tree's nickname?
My son name is Lucky. I got another son named Japan. I got another son named Bobo. My daughter named Billy. I got a granddaughter named La Hafe. That means female chief. I got another granddaughter named Gigi. I got a granddaughter named Life. I got a granddaughter named Dark Chocolate.
What's Tree's
Don't no one use. I don't use no one real name.
You didn't mention me yet. That's it.
Chris, what's Tree's name? What's Tree's
You
name?
didn't mention me yet.
He said he had a lot
Nay
of them.
Nay.
Who?
Nay Nay.
Nay Nay.
Yep. Nay Nay. You know they do that little dance, the Nay Nay.
Yeah.
You so extra.
Yeah, your name is Nay Nay. No one has a real name.
Hey, so
Tree, that's not the real nickname?
Unfortunately, it is.
So before we go, Nene, I want to ask.
So I got a question. Tree, was it Nene before the Nene? It's always been.
Yes. Well, you know,
It was way before the Nay Nay.
ask mommy why did she name me Nene?
Why she what?
Why is my nickname Nene?
And not Nano?
Why is her nickname Nay Nay? Because she said your middle name is Sinead, and it went with Nay Nay, I think.
Pops, TMI.
Your middle name is
You are
Shanae?
on live TV.
Your middle name is Shanae?
Look.
You asked the question.
Not about my middle name.
You asked the question.
Your middle name Shanae for real?
Chris, her middle name Shanae. I got you. I'm
No, it is not.
It said Shanae.
Shanae.
Don't y'all ask me nothing if you don't want me to answer it.
No, hey,
Tree, you do know
for real.
Greg is not
Tree.
gonna let you live that down, right?
Marcy at all.
Hey,
And
Tree,
you,
for
Tree,
real.
I love you, but I'm gonna come at you with nay.
Hey,
Shanae.
My
Tree, for real.
family knows me by Nene. My friends know me by Tree because my name is Tree.
Yeah,
and
by
Nunn.
Tree.
Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
no, that's what I was going to ask you. Is your middle name Shanae? Because then I could see where the name came from Trinette and Trinette. No, that's not it. You're not answering.
Yeah,
Speak up.
moving ahead real slow. You see that?
Oh, I
Real
thought you was.
slow.
I thought you was trying to. I thought you was trying to fake steal to see like a what's her name froze.
Like Marcy froze the other night.
Shanae. She ain't gonna freeze. No, we ain't gonna let her freeze. Okay. Only
I
thing
wasn't froze. I was just like, what?
only thing we can freeze is the purple rain. Okay. But look, Nene, we want to. Because you do know from this point forward, I'm going to change. I think I can change your name on there. I'm gonna put Nene and a picture of Shanae in the corner.
No,
In the corner.
The next day,
unfair. So unfair.
How's that unfair?
It's true.
Now my name
You
covers
are
the
the
whole
one.
bottom of the monkey.
Stevens, this is what she does. Okay, you are the one who said, no, I want to ask these questions. Okay, we 6 minutes overtime and we supposed to be off. Okay, but that's okay because you wanted to ask the questions, Nene, and we're gonna let you go ahead on. If you got any other questions you want to ask from Steven, who's gonna give us some chitlin egg rolls, whatever he got.
That's right.
Did you just say chitlin egg rolls, bro?
Yeah.
He said,
Yeah, he said chilling egg rolls. I don't have them.
Oh,
I was about to
He'll
say,
make 'em
bro.
though. He can
I
make
was
them.
about to
I
say
can make them though. If you want it, I'll make it for you.
with hot
Chris?
sauce.
Yep, I'll saute the onions and you can dip it in the hot sauce cup.
Hey, Tree, Steve, my new uncle. You know that now.
Pops, we want to thank you for coming on the show this evening.
No, we ain't done
Telling
yet.
us your story.
Call
Hey,
me.
Steven,
Thank you for telling us your story.
Let me
I'm
ask
sure
you
you
one
have
question.
touched
I got
many,
one more question.
many people
I got
who
one
are
more
afraid sometimes to speak their truth. So we want to thank you for coming on.
We do.
Go ahead and leave the studio.
No, I want to ask you.
We will talk to you later.
I have one more
Let
question.
me get this question out.
I got one.
Steve, we can open
Right
up
back now.
and we can open up a store called the Itis.
Steven, how was Nate? Oh, he left. God dog it. Boy, you got control.
Great.
Tree, why you doing like that?
Jeff, I tried to tell you.
Hey, I was only here for 10 minutes.
I mean what I say.
You know what
Look, I
though?
was only
You
here
know
for
what
10
though?
minutes and I
That
ain't
was
I mean what I say. When I say something,
Yeah.
it gets done.
Hey, Chris, I'm kind of wondering though. She gave her little exit and said, "Okay, now pop off," and he said, "I gotta go."
I noticed that.
I mean, my fault. Nene the boss.
I am.
I see. Are you the youngest?
Wow.
I'm the middle child.
Oh yeah, you get everything. Yeah.
Not really. I just don't.
You get baby by the oldest and you bully the younger ones.
I don't get baby. I mean what I say.
Oh, okay.
And in a certain tone of voice, he got off. He didn't even say bye.
I had one more question for him. It was a serious question.
Okay, what is it? I can answer it.
How were you when you were a child?
I think my mom could
When you were
probably
Noah's age, huh?
My mom could probably answer that one better.
Didn't ask your mom. I was going to ask you. I'm just saying. She wasn't on. She could have came on and answered questions, but she wasn't on. I was going to ask
Steve. Not come on at all.
When you were Nye's age, though, you can tell us, how were you? Tell the truth.
According to my mom said that I was bad. I was a bad child.
No.
I asked her, like, what does that mean I was a bad child? She just said I was just bad. She never understood me in some ways. She just said I was just very, very adamant, direct, bossy, you know.
I don't see that. Except for the people that
I
know
do.
Because Pop.
I was gonna say okay, thank you. You're done today. You're done. Get off. Pretty much.
Pop was like, peace.
He didn't even get to out. He just said peace.
She didn't even let me close my deal on the item.
Exactly.
Yeah, he ain't even get ready to draw no contract or nothing. You just
Really?
shut down
I
Chris's
thought
whole
we
deal.
had.
Chris, it took her a half hour to get him on. Okay, so I think she fed him his lines.
No, he was having some issues, and I had to walk him through it. So he finally got on.
But it was cool to have him on, okay, because he did give, him and Uji have gone through the same things. The only thing that's difference in them is Uji got 15 kids. But I think that it's important to know that people do go through things, and I guess sometimes they're habitual, but sometimes they get through it and they go through it. And that's why I had to ask him, at what point did you start really, really thinking about your family? I mean, you may have been thinking about the family, but you weren't putting them first. Same thing that I asked my brother. If you put the family first, you're not going to go do all of this stuff, especially after the first time. I can understand loosely the first time, but my brother went in 3, okay? And to this day, he's a different guy. But, people do change. But some people don't. What happens to those that don't? How does that affect the family? Does the family just give up on them? It's a lot to that.
It is a lot, and that's why it was good that he said what he said, because people don't realize what you go through. People assume you got a silver spoon in your mouth or whatever the case may be, and people don't know your struggle. So I'm not ashamed of my background. I'm not ashamed of my past. I'm not ashamed of my parents. It is what it is.
And you shouldn't be, Nene. Right. So look, tell everybody once
I
again.
didn't go to the streets looking for love. That's another reason why I wanted him to come on and share. I didn't do any of that. So
no, you got a good one. Like I said, that's my little brother over there, L. You got a good one. But let me ask you,
was L? Oh, that was your father sitting in the chair, because I looked it up on Facebook, and it was somebody.
L was here first. Yes.
Okay.
L was on there giving us some gems, and then she looked at him and told him to get up, and he levitated. She actually levitated him,
and never came back, and we haven't seen him since. Come on, Nene, why you doing him like that?
Hey man, she did him like she did L like the Winslows did Judy on Family.
Walked up there, never seen her again.
The basement, and you ain't never seen her again. Okay,
so you trying to say we're not gonna see L again?
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, L, here it comes.
Look, both of them. Yeah. She summoned him. Yeah.
She got the new hair.
She summoned it.
She's summoned.
No, I am who I am. I'm just an honest, direct person. I'm a little bossy, but I mean what I say. I say what I mean.
Hey, Trick.
I mean, we love who you are. If they don't, I love who you are.
Hey, Nene.
Yes, Chris.
Every time I seen you on video, when Greg called me, you didn't seem like a bossy type. That was the professional. That was Tree, right? So that's the difference between the two. It's Tree and Nene, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see it in her facial expressions.
Oh no!
When I first met you can tell, because she has a look that like what?
Look. We talked about the family, Chris. We talked about the family, and L, because that's what. Remember, Chris? The first thing that I told you about, Chris, was what? The family. It's a family business. Okay. I love the way that they did it. L explained a lot of stuff about his family, and I think these guys are seriously a family that a lot of people should look at and emulate. Everybody goes through something. Everybody has problems. Just because they look perfect on the outside, there are issues on the inside, of course, okay, but they work through it, and they're still a family. And to have Nye back there as a teenager, interested in doing this. You know what I'm saying? Even though she does eat cheesecakes on the regular.
Sliced cheesecakes?
No, I get the slice. She get the whole.
Chris, we have Greg's whole.
I think what they do.
Hey, look, Tree, I know you wait for the birthday. I know what you do.
Chris, this is what they do, man. See, Nye got geometry, all right? So they said now, Nye, this is a hole. If we take
I already took the tree.
This Tree, what is Steve's nickname for L? What is Steve's nickname for L?
Yes, what's his nickname for you? What does Fox call you?
L.E.L.
L.E.L.
They found out my nickname.
All right,
What's that?
Jeff.
He seriously has a nickname for everybody, huh? Wow.
What
Yeah, you do.
I got a nickname for you too, Chris.
I didn't hear it, so I don't have one.
Love you,
got a
Jeff.
nickname for you.
See you.
Love you too.
All right,
Jeff.
bye-bye.
All right, Jeff.
All right, I'll holler at y'all.
All
All
right, Jeff. Chris, I do have a nickname for you. I've had one for you for a long time.
I know, Mills. Thank you.
Even before you became a millionaire.
I was never been a
Oh
millionaire.
gosh.
That's you, bro. You
I
the
used, I used to call you before old boy had the name, because Chris would always duck and dodge, and sometimes you wouldn't know where he at, and he'd be right there. I used to call Chris Chameleonaire. All right.
Are we still on the air? Oh, yeah, 9:15.
I used to call Chris Chameleonaire before old boy.
I'm trying, Chris. I'm trying to help you.
I should have said.
I'm trying.
so truth. When y'all coming out to Vegas again?
Soon. Hey, Greg, get us off.
Okay, let me get y'all off at the direction of the non-directorial tree. All right. Hey, we want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Probably won't be on tomorrow because I ain't had no sleep. Chris, I had a great day today, bro. But we're talking about the families, and again, the only thing I need to say is look at this family in the corner, okay? And you'll know that the black family is not destroyed, okay? There are some examples of the black family that we can look up to, and I thank this family here for being that example, okay? There's Chris Mills, there's Marcy, Jeff Rutherford just left, Maurice, Uji, Suzette, Samantha. We love everybody, okay? Thank you for
Naya.
Living TV, huh?
Naya.
I said the
We
family.
got two of them.
I said the family.
Did you say Naya?
I said the
Nye.
He said family.
Baby girl. Nyla.
I said the family.
Oh.
And on behalf of earwax individuals everywhere.
You know what?
This
How
is
you gonna
Dope
say
Living
the family?
TV.
How you gonna say everybody's name and then say the family when it comes to
I
Naya?
didn't say everybody's name. I said the family.
No, you didn't. You
Family.
said
Didn't I say the family?
you said everybody's name.
Family. Didn't I say the family?
You said everybody's name.
You talking about Tree's family?
Right.
Or no, we're talking about the other Nyla.
Oh, I miss Nyla. Oh, y'all talking about Nyla. Hey,
Yeah,
Nyla.
baby girl Nyla.
Hallelujah.
Hey, I told you, Nyla's name is not Nyla no more. It's Life. So when I say Life, you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, you know who else I forgot?
Gina.
Gina said
I said Gina.
Yeah, I said Gina.
Elle whispered it.
Yeah, I said Gina too.
My bad. My bad. On behalf of Jimmy
That's
Walker,
right, Gina.
all the rest
He
of
gonna
the
get her.
Gina gonna get him.
Gina
I mean, yeah, well, that's what I meant. Gina's gonna get him. Yeah.
Gina ain't getting nothing but a Jimi Hendrix soundtrack, okay, and a pickle with a peppermint stick in it. All right. This is Dope Living TV Live. We will see you guys tomorrow, okay? Peace out.